Once again, viewers, we continue with our video lesson transmission. This week, I'm going to focus on a set book, A Doll's House. And my very first angle, I want to look at character analysis. My colleague has been looking at a number of themes that have been brought up in that book. It is my duty to now look at character analysis. Once you understand the characters in this book, you are able to understand everything else that follows. Later on, we are going to formulate some paper 3 questions that are going to help us understand the book, that are also going to help you effectively answer question 3 of paper 3. That is in the optional set book. Welcome to this particular lesson. I'm Kibuchi Peter, Boqol Academy. Welcome once again. In our lesson today, we want to look at character analysis and we want to look at Nora. You must agree with me that Nora is a very important character. Not that she is more important than the others, but she plays a very important role in the book. You are going to agree with me that all the other characters relate with Nora in one way or another. Helmer is the husband to Nora. And through Nora, we are able to understand especially his chauvinistic nature. Number 2, Mrs. Lede, who comes later in the novel, is also related to Nora. And once she has landed at Nora's residence, we are able to learn something about Nora, that it is through Nora that she is promised to have a position in the bank, to work in a junior position. Then we have Krogstad. Krogstad is related to Nora in the sense that it is their relationship in the past, their kind of dealings in the past that actually gives rise to this book. And then we have Dr. Rank. Without emphasizing that, we know that they have some kind of a relationship that almost borders on a romantic relationship. That is between Nora and Dr. Rank. And that is why we say Nora occupies a very important position in this book. And we need to understand her as that. When we look at Nora, Nora is presented in 3 different ways. We have the naive Nora, the journey of Nora's character. Stage number 1, we have the naive Nora. This woman who is very obedient, this woman who is a conformist, this woman who has a lot of value to family. That is the naive Nora. Secondly, we are presented to yet another angle of this character, the sacrificial Nora, when her past is eventually revealed to us, especially through Mrs. Lede, then we are able to see this naive character, Nora, has evolved into another very intelligent and sacrificial character. A person who forgoes all that we know about a woman in order to save a marriage. That is the sacrificial Nora. And then this sacrificial Nora graduates into another type of a character, the hardcore, independent Nora. From naive Nora to an intelligent sacrificial Nora into further independent Nora. Those are the three ways through which we are able to look at Nora's character. That one was only in general. Let us pay some highlights about this particular character. Character analysis of Nora. We know that Nora is Helma's wife, and they have been married for 8 good years. Out of these 8 years, they have begotten some children, 3 of them, and the children are Eva, then we have Emmy, and we have Bob. That is Nora's family. And then something else that we know is that this woman is from a single parent family. And the single parent that is given to us is the father. So she has been brought up by her father, being brought up by a man, and then getting into a marriage. You can see or you can sense something here, that she has grown up in a patriarchal nature of a family. Something else that we want to understand about her is that she is very committed to the family values. And what are these family values that we are talking about? Committed to the value of love, committed to the value of obedience, and also she has that sense of duty that is presented to us. Nothing summarizes this as we are told on page 7. Page 7, 5th Nora. She says, I should not think of going against your wishes. I should not think of going against your wishes. When they are having this kind of interaction and conversation with Helma, and then Helma is saying, I was only joking, this lady is able to assert that she can never go against his wishes. We see somebody who is able to stay in her position as a woman, somebody who has accepted the subordinate position in this kind of a family. And that is why we are saying at the very beginning, this woman is presented to us as that somebody who is committed to family values, who is committed to obedience and that sense of duty. And that one is captured on page 8. That subordinate position of a woman is very, very important to us when we are analyzing the character of Nora. Why do we say that this woman is committed to the value of love in this particular family? We see one instance when the book opens, the first 2 pages, Nora has come in and is armed with some gifts for the children. There are dresses, there are toys, there are playthings for the children. That is some kind of commitment. And in fact, there is also something for the maid. We see somebody who is committed to the family, somebody who has a lot of love to the children. So we can say that E.g. buys some Christmas she buys some Christmas gifts for the entire family. That is dresses, toys, and playthings to the children. We understand later on that this woman will even have time for the children. At one time, we see her and the children having some hide and seek games. Somebody who is able to create time for the children. Is that loving? We are not also going to forget that when the book opens, there is some Christmas tree that has been brought in by a porter, just to make sure that this year's Christmas is going to be celebrated with some joy, is going to be celebrated with some family union and appreciation. There is something that we cannot take for granted when we are looking at this woman. Something else that we know about Nora is that Nora is passionate, beautiful, and romantic. Those are attributes that will become important later on in the book. And she is going to use this particular attribute in order to win the husband back to her side and in order to save her family when the worst comes to the worst. Once the secret has been revealed, he is going to use this particular attribute in order to win Helma's stance to her side. She is that passionate, she is that beautiful, she is attractive and romantic, attractive, and these attributes are the ones that make Helma refer to her as a doll. As a result of this, she is referred or taken as a doll. Taken as a doll because of these particular attributes that we see. Later on, especially when we meet her towards the end of the book, we are going to find out that this woman is a good dancer. This woman is a dancer. Has perfected the dancing of the tarantella. This woman has perfected the art of tarantella dancing. Why is dancing important to us? Before we look at that, tarantella is some kind of an Italian dance. And we must know that Nora has been in Italy for a whole 1 year. And it is as a result of that visit that she was able to learn some dancing skills, especially in Tarantella. And that is why she is going to perform a fancy dress dance in their neighborhood. They have been invited and she is going to dance. And we are going to see the effect of that dance in Helma's life. Helma becomes so attracted to Nora when she is dancing that to an extent that this guy is even envious. And it is that particular night that Helma really wants to have Nora very close to him to an extent of begging her. Remember this, when they are coming from the dance at the Stenbock's house, and then Nora is laying, Helma is really persuading her that they should not stay a minute longer. And Nora is saying, I want to spend some time more. And Helma says no. She has had this kind of dancing skills that Helma is attracted to her for once at that particular time. She dances with that vigor that Helma's defenses are now so weak. That is Nora for you. However, Nora becomes a victim. She is a victim. Nora becomes a victim of Helma's chauvinistic nature, manifested in his accusations. It is important to note that this book is set in a chauvinistic society. A chauvinistic society is that society that places a lot of premium on men, a society that believes in men, a society that believes that men are superior, a society that believes that men are the ones that have to drive everything that happens in that society, that women will only occupy that second position. So Nora finds herself in this kind of an unfortunate situation where she is a victim of Helma's chauvinistic nature. And this chauvinistic nature is manifested through the many accusations that are leveled against her by the husband. Some of these accusations include she is a little spendthrift, wasting money. Number one, a little spendthrift, wasting money. Buying Christmas gifts. That is page 2. Sexual accusation being referred to as an extravagant little person, an extravagant little person, that is page 4. Number 3, being accused of spending all the money on housekeeping. And buying unnecessary things. There is page 5. Number 4, a little odd, is accused as a little odd soul, just like her father. Wheedling, money out of Helma. Which soon melt in her heart. There is page 5. Number 5, she is accused of breaking rules in town. Been breaking rules in town by visiting the confectioner. That she has been nibbling sweets and macaroons. There is page 7. Number 6, accusation number 6. Accusation number 6. Miss Linde accuses her of being a child who knows very little It's not only Helma who accuses this woman, but another accusation comes from Mrs. Lide, and Mrs. Lide perceives Nora as somebody who is a child, somebody who knows very little about the burdens of life. Those are the accusations that Nora has to deal with. And there is even another accusation here, that the previous Christmas, she made it so dull. She made the previous Christmas so dull that Helma had never seen such kind of a Christmas. That was so boring. Was so boring to Helma. That is by working for so long to make the day successful. Those are the many accusations that this woman has to go through. So we now can see the relationship between Nora and Helma. And this relationship is that one of a boss who is a chauvinist and somebody who is inferior, somebody who can be turned around. On top of the accusations, we also see Helma refers to Nora as a plaything. Nora is perceived as a doll. That is a plaything. Something to play around. She is referred to as a little lark. A little lark. That is some kind of a bird. Some kind of a bird. Nora is referred to as a squirrel. Some kind of a rodent. My little squirrel, referred to as a spendthrift. Number 4, a featherhead. Number 5, an odd little soul among others. So it is important to see this kind of a perception, that when Helma looks at Nora, he looks at her as a plaything, something to play around. And you see, even in their interaction, this man keeps on tickling Nora. Sometimes he's tickling the ears, that other kind of a jocular manner. And it will not be lost on us that Nora has also been regarded as a doll by the father. That is something that is very important. And that is why we defined this particular stage as that stage of naivety, that stage where Nora is regarded as a child, before we come to the sacrificial part of Nora. Having seen that kind of a picture, something should not be lost on us, that Nora is a very hardworking woman. A hardworking woman. The book gives us a different view of Nora that we have been given by Helma. This one is a very hardworking woman, and we see her in needlework. We have seen her in needlework. We have seen this woman in embroidery. We have seen this woman in crochet work. We have seen this woman in writing. In fact, very late in the night, to put food writing late into the night just to put food on the table. This is Nora for you. So the character of Nora is juxtaposed. As readers, when we are reading the book, we are looking at Nora the way Helma has told us. We are also looking at Nora the way we know her. And then we put her in a weighing machine. Is this woman a spendthrift? Is this woman an extravagant person? But on the other hand, we see a woman who is very hardworking, a woman who is in crochet work, a woman who is in needlework, a woman who is even in writing and doing it very late at night. So this is not a woman who just stays idle there waiting for Helma to come and provide. She is there to supplement the family budget. And later on, this woman tells us that she had to work late at night just to put some food on the table. By the time that we meet these two characters, Helma has not been working. Helma is out of his job, and he has just received some news that he is going to work in the bank. In the new year, he is going to work in the bank. So it is that period when this family is faced by that kind of financial crunch. But Nora has not just been sitting pretty there in the house. Nora has been working through figures to provide for the family, which is very important. So we are going to judge Nora from these two perspectives. Is it from what we are told by Helma, or is it from what we are given in the book? We want to judge her through those two aspects. Another very important thing that we note about Nora is that Nora is a very generous person, a person who is welcoming. A person who is welcoming. And how do we say this? When Mrs. Lide comes, Mrs. Lide is given the right welcome. She is ushered into the house with a lot of warmth. And it is as a result of this welcoming nature that we also see this woman going beyond to intercede for Mrs. Lide so that she can earn a position in the bank. Seen in Lide's visit, that warm welcome is found there. And we cannot exhaust the character of Nora within that specified time. And that is why in our next episode, we shall still going to look at further analysis of Nora. Because in my view, Nora forms the backbone of this book. So until then, it is goodbye for now.